No wonder fewer and fewer people are watching. No wonder ratings for Saturday Night Live are down double digits. I would imagine it's hard to maintain your ratings averages when you're alienating half the country. Hell, at this point, you could make the case that SNL is alienating over half the country. We have seen this movie before. We know how this story ends. We have seen it with the NBA. We've seen it with the NHL. Over the last decade, we have watched it destroy the entire genre of late night television. What was once a profitable genre has been completely destroyed by the woke fungus. So I don't understand, in the year of our Lord 2025, why Saturday Night Live would be willing to re-inject themselves with the fungus. I don't understand why SNL would order a double dose of the woke wiener. The history and the trajectory of Saturday Night Live, it reminds me a lot of the WWF. Both organizations were ran by one man. SNL was created and ran by Lorne Michaels, while the WWF was ran by Vince McMahon. Both shows became mainstream around the same time. SNL was started in the 70s, but it really didn't become major in the mainstream until the 1980s. The WWF took over the mainstream in the mid-80s when Vince McMahon built the company around Hulk Hogan. I am a real American. Both Vince McMahon and Lorne Michaels, they built their empires based off of characters. For decades, they both kept their finger on the pulse of mainstream pop culture. One of the reasons that both shows were so effective, it's because they both had art imitating life. The cast of characters were always changing, but the success of the shows remained the same. SNL went from Eddie Murphy and Chevy Chase to Chris Rock and Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, Will Ferrell, Tim Meadows, Colin Quinn, Tina Fey. For the longest time, it didn't matter who was on the show. At 11:30 on Saturday night, you knew SNL would be good. Lorne Michaels is responsible for hundreds, maybe even thousands of classic moments. Remember back in the 90s when Chris Kattan was playing Mango? Nobody knew it at the time, but Mango, it would eventually become the inspiration for the dancing queen, Jackie Mahomes. What about the ladies' man? Yes, this is the ladies' man. I'll be taking your romantic queries. Hey, ladies' man, this is Chad Thundercock. I'm having some problems in the bedroom and was hoping you could help me out. Ooh, yes, I can. Before we get started, are you attracted to your wife? I was calling about my husband. Oh, the ladies' man can't help you. All future callers, the ladies' man doesn't like calls like that. The ladies' man cannot help you when it comes to your boodle. I remember years ago, Jason Sudeikis and Jamie Foxx, they did a sketch called Main Justice. It was incredible. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. But the point is, Saturday Night Live produced quality programming for decades. Was all of it good? No, but you didn't have to worry about tuning into SNL thinking that you were going to be alienated. Didn't have to worry about tuning in thinking that you were going to be called a racist. Over the weekend, Saturday Night Live, they aired their 50th anniversary special. This is amazing! We've been on the air for 50 years! Celebrate the butt bongo! Woohoo! Yes, yes, yes! As part of the celebration, Lorne Michaels invited former stars to participate. I know this is hard for the kids to believe, but Saturday Night Live, it used to feature actual stars. They used to have cast members on this show that were easily recognized. Back then, the cast of SNL, they didn't treat the show as a career. It was a stepping stone. It was similar to the first job that you take out of college before you start your real career. Now you got dudes like Kenan Thompson who have been on SNL longer than the people who still watch this garbage have been alive. Lorne Michaels, he invited Tom Hanks to revive his character of Doug on Black Jeopardy. Well, KC, is this character based on Cackling Cam's husband, Doug Mehofer? The Doug who speaks against toxic masculinity and wears an apron while baking cookies? No, this Doug is supposed to emulate a Trump supporter. And as expected, supporters of the Orange Man, they didn't find Doug to be all that humorous. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel's in the description below. This morning on the second channel, talked about Steve Kerr. Stevie! Talked about Stevie once again, complaining about the brutal schedule in the NBA. These poor NBA players, they're just not being treated fairly. Stevie's upset because the league keeps scheduling the Rainbow Warriors in back-to-back games. So if you haven't already, head over to the second channel and subscribe. Back in 2016, Lorne Michaels, he produced a skit called Black Jeopardy. The skit featured Kenan Thompson as the host. I think his name is Darnell, Cantrell, Manuel. Who cares? It doesn't matter what his name is. Kenan Thompson's been on this damn show for so long, he has played just about every character. I'm surprised they haven't dressed him as a woman named Kel. Skit from 2016 featured Kenan Thompson along with two unknown women. And in the interest of diversity, Lorne Michaels included a white man named Doug that was played by Tom Hanks. Now, credit where credit is due. The original Black Jeopardy skit, I thought it was good. Matter of fact, I will rewatch it from time to time when I'm traveling and watching old SNL skits. God only knows, I can't watch new skits of SNL for obvious reasons. They suck. Over the weekend, they brought back Black Jeopardy. Once again, featured Kenan Thompson as the host. It featured one of the unknown women from the original skit in 2016. They had Tracy Morgan playing some dude, and they had Eddie Murphy playing Tracy Morgan. Skit was about 8 minutes long, and for 6.5 minutes, I thought it was great. It is rare for me to enjoy anything that SNL produces today, but this was good shit. Eddie Murphy, absolutely excellent as Tracy Morgan. And anytime you have Tracy Morgan on screen, you know it's going to be comedy gold. But then, Lorne Michaels just had to do what he does best. He had to take something that's good and fuck it all up. In the interest of diversity, Lorne Michaels decided to include a white man on Black Jeopardy. Once again, it was Tom Hanks playing the role of Doug. But this time, Tom Hanks was playing the role of a Trump supporter. I would show you the clip, but SNL is ridiculous with their copyright. They'll either take all my money or refuse to let me post the video. If you want to watch the clip for yourself, you can easily find it on social media. Tom Hanks, he is playing a Trump supporter. He's wearing his MAGA hat. He is pretending to be a Southern dumbass. He's mocking religion. At one point during the skit, Kenan Thompson, he rushes over to shake his hand. Tom Hanks, he pretends to be terrified because he's being approached by a black man. Obviously, the insinuation here is that Trump supporters are racist. There's been a lot of outrage about this throughout conservative media, which tends to happen when you generalize over half the country and call them racist. Now, me personally, I wasn't really bothered by it. I don't get offended by comedy. I don't want SNL canceled because they made fun of Trump supporters. Hell, I want SNL canceled because the show sucks. But what I don't understand is why Lorne Michaels would do this. You're already struggling to reach normal people. After the election in 2020, SNL, they drew almost 10 million viewers. After the 2024 election, they drew just over 4 million. They lost over half the audience in the last 4 years. With this being the 50th anniversary, this was Lorne Michaels' chance to recapture that lost audience. This was his chance to recapture people who used to watch Saturday Night Live. The same SNL that used to relentlessly make fun of Bill Clinton. Same SNL that was willing to make fun of everyone, not just the Trumper. From 2021 to 2024, Lorne Michaels was terrified to make fun of Johnny B. Biden. He was damn sure scared to make fun of cackling Cam Harris. But with this 50th anniversary special, this was his chance. This was his opportunity to remind us of what SNL used to be and could still be. But instead of doing that, Lorne Michaels produces a skit that pisses off half the country. Question is, why? I can only speculate, but I think Lorne Michaels is out of touch. Earlier, I compared Lorne Michaels to Vince McMahon. As Vince McMahon got older, the quality of his product diminished. He wasn't as sharp as he used to be. He wasn't able to create characters that were relatable to a younger audience. When you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, it's easier to keep up with the younger generation. Have kids of your own, so you know what your kids like, you know what your kids are watching and listening to. But as you get older, your awareness starts to decline. SNL's always catered to a younger demo. Lorne Michaels is 80 years old. How can an 80-year-old man create content that a 20-year-old can relate to? But KC, SNL has younger writers and producers. Yeah, the WWF did too, but there's only one person approving the scripts. Lorne Michaels. Nothing is being shown without his approval. And this didn't just happen recently. Lorne Michaels has been past his prime for years now, maybe even a decade. Think about it. When is the last time Saturday Night Live was good? When is the last time that SNL was culturally relevant? You tell me. Once or twice a year, I try to watch SNL. I try to give the show one more chance. Every time, I end up turning it off within the first 30 minutes. The show sucks. It just sucks. Also, if you've seen the skit with Tom Hanks, what did you think about it? Does SNL alienate half their potential audience? Is that why they are struggling to maintain ratings? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.